I'm not sure which those two pieces are. It's probably the insides. But now you can see I've got my front with the doors separated from my back, separated from both edges. And the bottom. Now we're going to do a little detail work on the front. We're going to separate the legs here. Again, I don't want a face selected because it'll add seams across the center right there. So I'm going to mark the seam. Then I'm going to select the next section. Make sure that's marked. And I'm going to put you on pause and come back to you when I've got everything selected and mapped. Now this part right here can get a little frustrating because you can't see which verts you're about to select compared to which verts are over here. See, and if you click on any of the verts on the UV map, it doesn't show you what you want to see. So you click on this button down here with the arrow pointing at the separate verts, and then you can click that vert and it'll show where it is. You can click that vert and show that it's actually inside the lip of the piano. I'm going to drop into object mode, and I'm going to hide my key closer, which it's alright because the piano's not done yet. I'm going to go back into selecting the main piano, and then I'm going to scroll back out here so I can see where I'm working. I'm going to zoom in on that dot, and I can see that this open space here has not been highlighted, has not been marked as a seam. Simply by marking my opening as a seam, I can increase the how do you say, appearances of the UV map so that you can know where you're actually painting. And I'm going to go back into object mode and hide both doors. And back into edit mode and highlight the door opening as a seam. I'm going to go back into wireframe mode and make sure I have all of the verts that are the opening of the sliding panels selected and marked. As you see, as I selected those, it showed me where on the UV map I was actually painting. I'm going to mark that as a seam, and my live unwrap is not working for some reason. And if you only have certain parts selected when you unwrap, only those certain parts will be unwrapped. But if you select everything, I've gone from a piano shape to a mess. Well, that's not acceptable. Alright, to fix my mess, I used my dot capture to figure out which dots were actually highlighted. Now I'm going to mark the seams that are offending the shape, and I'm going to clear those seams. Alright, simple enough. Making sure that I have both the inside and the outside marked. Clear the seams. Then I'm going to unwrap yet again. Now that's almost alright, but I've only done that on one side. So I'm going to go over here, select the seams that have sent me into some sort of strange shape land. And clear them. Select all, unwrap. Now you'd think I want to have this in a more manageable shape. Even though it's the inside and not really visible from the outside. I kind of do, so I'm going to make sure that this line is marked without affecting the middle of a shape or both sides of the object. And I'm simply going to do that by selecting the whole line, then unselecting the parts that make no sense. Marking that seam. Marking that seam. Unmarking enough verts to refuse to unmark the face, and then reselecting the verts that mark that face separately. Now going in here, I may unwrap, and even though these are really clustered tightly together and they're all on the inside of my piano, in fact that's the entire front face of the piano. You're quite welcome to go in and continue detailing your seams. Your rigid offsets. See? I'll mark that as a seam. I'm going to unwrap the entire project. And it gives me a little more space to work in those seams. The more sections you have separated from the main object, the more you're going to be able to paint individually.